Hi everyone, welcome back. I've got a Makeup Revolution haul for you today. It's going well. My hair's already sticking out everywhere. Yeah, so I always get about £30 worth of things because that's where you get free delivery. And I got a mystery bag as well. So I've already opened everything. So it's not going to be like an unboxing video. Let's show you what I got. Stop babbling, I'll just get straight into it. The first thing I just couldn't resist. I prefer the packaging that's not like this. I prefer the black hard case packaging. But I did pick up this blush palette in Blush Goddess. I had a look at the Blush Queen versus Blush Goddess, and this is the one I felt was more for me. Emily Noel was saying how these were all great wearable blushes, and there is a variation, whereas with the Blush Queen there were a bit much of a muchness. So I'll just show you the palette. So you've got some blush toppers or highlighters, however you wish to use them at the top. And this is a really yellow gold. I really don't think I'm going to be able to manage to pull that off. Let's just swatch that for you. So I think it's picking up a little bit more white on camera, but that is full on yellow. Yeah, what have I got on the back of my hand? There you go, I've got full on yellow on there, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to wear that. These two here look very, very similar shades. I'll just swatch them for you. They're both kind of like pinky shade. Yeah, pinky champagne, and then the next one along. The second one along looks a little bit more frosty and a little bit more sort of chunky. Like the first one looks a bit more finely milled. Now I've got them swatched, I can definitely say that the first one is more of a champagne and the second one's got a lot more pink in it, and the second one is also a lot more sort of shimmery. You can see how that's catching the light a lot better. Yeah, I suppose a lot better. So I'm not saying that the highlight is better, because some people might prefer more of a subtle highlight. But yeah, this one here is the second one along, which is the pink one, more of a nighttime one. There's the yellowy goldy one, and that one is the first one, which is definitely the more sort of daytime appropriate one. And then the last one on the end does seem as though it's going to be, swipe off my finger, again another sort of daytime appropriate one, but kind of like bronzy. Looks like it might have a bit more warmth to it, let's say. Yeah, and it does. It is a very beigey, creamy colour right there, so that's not going to highlight a very fair skin toned person, but great as a blush topper or a very subtle highlight if you are of a lot of colour, if you have a darker skin tone, sorry. So the four along the bottom are all blushes. Looking at it, it looks like this one's matte, and it looks like these two have a shimmer in them, and this one has, I think it has a slight shimmer in. Let's see. So I'll start with the more sort of corally one with an orange tinge. So that's nice and warm, and I'll just swatch it there for you. My back of my hand is wet from the baby wipe, so that'll help you to see the colour a bit better, but obviously it'll be more sheerer than that if it's not wet, if your cheek is dry. The next one along has got sort of like a very mauvey neutral undertone, and that'd be great for a neutral when you've got a lot going on the lips and eyes and you just want something neutral. The next one along is a pink. There's no doubt about this, a pink. It's got a bit of a cool tone to it. I really, really like it, and that would suit my skin tone really, really well. That's that one there. And then the last one is a very rosy, sort of deeper, darker sort of pink. And I'll swatch that there so you can see them. They're all very different. I already have a lot of blushes, so I probably didn't need that, but hey ho, I just wanted it. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the Golden Sugar 2 Rose Gold. I'll show you the packaging. So I do have the first one, but I didn't buy the shimmer brick because I saw it at my friend Autumn's house, and although it's absolutely one of the most beautifulest things I've ever laid my little eyes on, it'll be far too dark for my skin tone, so I didn't get that. So I got the Golden Sugar 2. Now this is packaging I prefer much more. to this one. It certainly feels like it costs more, and that's probably why they've changed the packaging, so I'll just show you this. So I have actually had a little bit of a play with this, I'm not gonna lie. This gold colour here I could only use as an eyeshadow, but just look at it. I just love a golden eyeshadow. Look at that. That is insane. I can't stop looking at it. It's just so beautiful. I can't wait to get that on my face at Christmas. I'll just swatch a few at random for this one, as the video is going to be far too long. I really like this creamy neutral colour. It reminds me of Suede by Sleek, which is a blush I really like. And then I really love this pinky colour here. It's got a lot of shimmer already in it. And it's a lovely icy pink for fair skin toned people. Yeah, I just think I'll play with that and get a lot of fun out. Let's just swatch this one for you. I just feel like it. Look at that. Crazy. So yeah, that would be a nice highlight. I think I'll be able to get away with that sheared out as a highlighter. I do put my swatches in awkward places. So yeah, that's that palette there. I'm sorry if you've seen these before, guys. I know a lot of these products are very popular options that you'll have seen on other people's YouTube channels, and to be honest, that's how I thought of them. I thought, right, well, they look amazing, I want to get them. So the next two products are the reason I placed this order. I am a collector, I'll admit it, of the chocolate palettes. The only one I don't have is the original, and I think I've said before, it's because it's a dupe of the Too Faced chocolate bar palette, which I own. So I'm not, although I'm a collector, I draw the line there. I'm not going to buy a product that's a dupe for something I already have, because I would just automatically probably end up, you know, choosing the Too Faced one, and I don't want two of the same thing. So these colours, at first I was like, is this the neutrals versus neutrals? And I heard a review on littlemissstyleguru's channel that it wasn't, it was different. And then I heard somebody say that this seemed like it was a dupe for the Peach palette by Too Faced, so I ended up getting it as usual. A nice sturdy mirror, a sponge tip applicator, which I think these usually come with the fluffy brushes, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't use the sponge tips, I do chuck them away. I'm not even going to bother swatching for this one because you'd be here all day, and if anybody wants a review and swatch of this palette, let me know, but I'm sure there's plenty out there already. The packaging is gorgeous. They do have a dark chocolate version, so that's not this one. This is a completely black packaging. Like it's just it's the packaging that does it. The thing that does disappoint me is it doesn't smell. I love the way that some of them smell. The Pink Fizz palette to me doesn't really smell. But the salted caramel and the white chocolate one, or naked chocolate, people keep calling it white chocolate, it's actually called naked chocolate, they both smell, and this is chocolate vice, so I can't wait to play with that. The other reason I placed the order was this Flawless Mattes palette. I have Flawless Mattes 1 and this is Flawless Mattes 2. And I just heard somebody say that it was basically a warmer toned version. So if you haven't already seen the Flawless Mattes 1, basically it's an entire palette of matte transition colours, which is so helpful and handy because so many palettes come with more shimmery shades than it does matte transition colours or crease colours. So I heard this was a little bit more warmer toned because it's got a bit more of a cool toned feel to the Mattes one. I wouldn't necessarily say this was a warmer. It would be. It's such a shame. I wished I could have a complete palette of this side here. This side here, which is 2/3, is cool toned. But it's only this row really here that's warm toned. I'm still glad I got it, and I can't wait to play with it. But yeah, I would say the Mattes one is more neutral. This one is 2/3 cool and 1/3 warm. Although, is it 1/3 warm? Because again, this last row is very cool. It's only literally these two strips. So 1/5 really is it warm. But I'm still glad I got it because I wouldn't say I was necessarily a collector of the 32 piece ones. But when you bring out a matte palette, you know, I just had to have it. I'll be interested to see which I grab more, this one or the Mattes one or my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette, because obviously there's a massive price point difference. And in my Flawless, the original Flawless palette, which has got shimmer and a few mattes in it, which is one of my favourite palettes of all time. I actually used it on my wedding day. I've hit pan on one of the mattes in that palette, so I'm really excited to have that as an accompaniment. That's completely the wrong word. I'm happy to have that palette. The very last product that I picked up was the Shimmer Brick in Radiant. I do actually prefer the tone of the rose gold one more, but as I say, it's just too dark for me, the rose gold one. But this is still sealed. I'm going to open it. I'm getting my words blah blah blah. I'm not being able to speak because it's just so beautiful. I can't speak. Look at that. Now, I probably won't use this bottom one down here when I'm using it as a highlighter, just because obviously I'm very fair. But again, you could use that as an eyeshadow. I was tempted by the rose gold one just because of the fact that you could use them as eyeshadows and they would be beautiful eyeshadows, but obviously I have enough eyeshadow palettes. Yeah, so that's the bottom strip on its own. I'm not going to do the rest of them individually, but I will swirl the rest of them together and show you. So when I swirl them together like that, as you can see, that again would be too dark for me as a highlighter. Let me try the top two together. Yeah, probably again too dark for a highlighter. I suppose this would be lovely. The reason I wanted it is I think it's going to be great for taking on holiday when you are a bit more tan and you want something that's going to be a multitasking product that you can use as a blush or that you can use on your eyes. I took a Shimmer Brick with me on holiday last year and I really enjoyed using that, but it's more pink based, so it'll be nice to have more of a neutral bronzy base. I'd be interested to see if anybody has this product and also the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick, the beige one. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's beige. She has obviously loads, and I'd be interested to see because I think that might be similar. Let's get on to the mystery bag. So as I say, I have had a little look in here and I'm really pleased with everything I got. I wasn't expecting that because usually you get a load of rubbish and sometimes they throw in a load of lip products that nobody else wants, and as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Makeup Revolution lip products, but I have got quite a lot of nice interesting things to try that I wouldn't ordinarily, you know, have picked up to try. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this Pure Pigments, and I've got some Pure Pigments from them that I do love, but they're more sort of autumnal colours, so I haven't cracked them out in a while, and this shade's called Hysteria. It's got a little sifter, which is great, and a little sticker over the sifter, which I'm just going to take off so I can show you, and it's a beautiful purple colour. So I've just put a little bit on the back of my hand here, and I'm just going to swatch it out. Excuse the sort of patchiness, but I've just wiped my hand with a baby wipe and it's going to be, my hand's wet basically, but I just wanted to show you the colour. It's not as sort of opaque as I thought it was going to be, but it is a beautiful colour. It's like a duochrome. I can see blue and purple in there. When I hold it up to the camera, it flashes a bit of a green as well, but though it doesn't look like that in person. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see which way that pulls on the eyes. So that's the Pigment in Hysteria. The next product I got in my blind bag was the Revolutionary Fusion Technology Matte Finish, the One Foundation. I was reading the back of the box. The One Foundation. Now this is in shade 14. I'd probably be shade 1, so you know. But the reason why I thought this product would be great is because I'm going to try it for contouring, and also I'm going to see if it works to be mixed in with a lotion on my legs as like a leg foundation, because it's very light and watery. It reminds me very much of the MAC Face and Body. So you can see how dark that is, but thankfully it's not like orange, so I think that'd be quite nice for contouring or on the leg, so I shall let you know how that works out. Next we've got the one blush stick in Matte Rush. Now I'm really pleased I got a matte one. I don't know why, I just think if I had to pick one of these, if I was allowed to pick one, I think I would have picked this one. So it's a matte one and it's a lovely summer colour, like a lovely corally orange colour, just very different and unique. It's not like anything that I already own. Certainly not in a cream. Actually, I tell a lie. That reminds me of one other product I've got. Now I thought that was going to remind me of the Natural Touch Cream Blush by Gosh in Peachy Rush 001. This is the second of this product I've got, and I've hit pan on this as well. I'm smelling it to make sure it's not gone out of date. Yeah, so I really do like this product, and it reminds me a lot of it. Yeah, it is more orange coral than it is peach, but there is a similarity there, I guess. So yeah, I'm excited to give that a go. I think it'd be better in a stick form than in a pan with that sort of thing, because hopefully that will mean it dries out less quickly. Now this is not something I purchase anymore. I don't mind singles. I quite like singles, let's say, and I quite like palettes, but these little sort of palettes I'm not into. And these baked eyeshadows I feel a bit wary of, because I do have one from Sephora which I'm not over the moon about. So when I saw this I thought, I don't know. It also reminds me of the colour scheme of the Sleek Garden of Eden palette, which I love and use, and I don't think I could love something more. But yeah, again, I'm just excited to try it. I have a suspicion that these will perform better wet than they do dry, but the back of my hand here is wet. I mean, I cannot argue with that pigmentation. I'm going to swatch them all. I'm going to do it. I'm going for it. Look at those, look at those. I just have a feeling that they're going to be amazing on the eyes. So yeah, I do get a little sponge with it, which I will not use. But yeah, no, they are pretty, really, really pretty. I'm not sure how much use I get out of them in the summer. I do like to wear greens in spring, and I like to wear them in autumn as well. But yeah, I'm really glad to have that. I got a couple of lip products. Firstly, I got an amazing shine lip gloss. Now, it's not my favourite to have lip glosses in this sort of tube form. I do prefer them with a doe foot applicator, although they are much more sanitary this way. And I have a few of these that I got with a Makeup Revolution advent calendar, and I wasn't that impressed by the formula. But this is a lip gloss tube in Hush Hush, and what can I say? Feels like it's got a nice amount of stick to it. I like a bit of a sticky gloss because I feel they last longer. Neutral, almost clear, got a bit of shimmer in. I think that'd be nice to top most things, or to wear as a sort of an everyday colour. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with that. You know, I'm pleased with it. Next, I got a Salvation lip lacquer. Now, I think I own one other of these. I'll just check. Yes, I do. I own one other of these in the shade Keep Prying For You, which I purchased myself, and I didn't like the colour. It's not, there's nothing, I didn't necessarily dislike the formula, but the colour on me, I'd have to try it again, but when it dries it was lighter than that and kind of made it look a bit crazy, really. Very too cool tone. I mean, that looks like it's going to suit me, but on it just didn't. But this colour might be a bit better because it's more neutral. So yeah, I'm really, it has a scent. It's not a lovely scent, but it's not a terrible scent. That's nothing like You and I. So yeah, I'm pleased. I might be able to get some sort of an ombre lip going on with the two of them. So yeah, I'm really glad again that I got that. It's a lovely workable colour. Sometimes I get worried in these blind bags or mystery bags that you get sent a load of stuff that nobody else has bought and they want to get rid of it before it goes out of date. So in reality that is what's happening. But I think I've just hit a lucky draw this time, and I've got a load of stuff that's really nice. Next I'm going to show you the lipstick. Now this doesn't look like it's from their £1 range. This is from a range of theirs that I haven't actually tried before, and that's the range that comes with like the heart on the end. And I think the concept of these is it's supposed to be more of a conditioning one, like it's maybe a lip balm product in the middle. But this shade is called Beating Heart, and it's I Heart My Lips. So it takes a lot of building up, and it's very sheer and very sort of blah. But again, it would be, you know, it could be nice for an everyday look. I think over the top of a lipstick that's too nude for me might give it a bit more life. So I'm looking forward to trying that, especially with the texture of it if it's going over the top of like a matte lip. I also got this eyeshadow. This is probably my least favourite thing in the blind bag. I probably won't use this. But it'd be nice to have, you know, if you have like a Halloween costume, or I don't know, I might be speaking too soon. I shall try it and see. But I'm not sure if this is something that I can sort of pull off. It's a purple violet colour called Rave All Night. Nice silky texture. doesn't disappoint there. The colour is not very pigmented, but it is a matte, so you know, that's the thing with mattes, they're harder to get right. It's easier to get shimmer shades done well, and so, you know, do you really want to necessarily invest a lot of money in those when you can get cheaper ones just as good? But for mattes, you know, I do tend to look for higher end, a lot of mattes in higher end palettes if I'm going to invest in them. The last product I'm going to show you that was in my blind bag is Radiant Light. Now I may already have this in a palette. In fact, I think I do, and this is in the shade Glow. So I'll just show that to you there. Very, very golden. I'd be interested to see how that compares to Prosecco Pop, but I don't have that face palette. I've got my palette here in highlighter palette in Radiance, and it sort of looks quite similar to the third one on the end. So I'm just going to swatch that one. But handy to have a little compact. The mirrors are good quality. The packaging is really nice quality. No, they are slightly different. It's less subtle, more gold, and a little less finely milled. So a little bit chunkier, but not in a bad way. It's just less subtle. So yeah, I really, really like that. It's quite different. And yeah, I'm interested to play with it and see how I can make that work from my skin tone. And that's everything. So I hope you enjoyed this Makeup Revolution haul. Thank you very much for watching if you've got this far, because yeah, it's a bit of a long one as usual. A lot of my videos are. So if you like that, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what you think, and thank you to everyone already subscribed. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.